Well, I finally did it. I have finally became the owner of my first electric vehicle here, the 2024 Kia EV9, the light long range version. And for those of you who've been watching my channel for a while or who have read my ebook, which you can get at solar-ebook.com, I go into how I've been waiting for years for the right time to purchase an EV. There's been a lot of obstacles in my way that it just wasn't right for me. And even though I have solar where I could charge it for free 100% of the time, it still didn't make sense because prices were too high and insurance rates were too high. But now things have changed. So I'm going to get into that in this video on why I went ahead and pulled the trigger on this thing now. Now, while I've been very interested in an EV just because of me having a whole home solar system with a ton of excess power to be able to charge it, and plus with what's going on in the Middle East right now with foreign wars driving gas prices up, it finally got my butt in gear to go ahead and really do some hardcore research on the financials to see if this made sense. Now, it used to be where you had to spend upwards of $80,000 to buy an EV just a few years ago. Well, now prices have came down quite a bit, especially now the used ones are starting to get on the market that are bringing the prices way down, at least on those. Now, for instance, I got this right here, this 3-row SUV from Kia. It's the EV9, the light long range version, for $31,000, and it only has 8,000 miles on it. And to give you an idea, I'd really needed a new car anyways because I was driving a 2018 Kia Sorento, and if I looked in the same year model, same mileage, it was about the exact same. There wasn't really any premium at all for the EV version of a 3-row SUV, at least from Kia. Now, another roadblock I had in the past to buying an EV was insurance rates were astronomical for these. I think insurance companies were just worried that if somebody just had a little fender bender, a dent here, and it bent the batteries at all, or there was any cell damage, they just totaled the whole car. And that caused insurance rates to be really high for an EV. Well, now that is not the case. To swap out my 2018 Kia Sorento, which is a 3-row SUV, for this, it's only costing me $19 a month more to insure. So as you can see, prices have came down quite a bit where these are actually real competitive to gas vehicles now. Another reason insurance rates were so high in the past was to try to repair these vehicles, there just wasn't a lot of service technicians qualified to make these repairs. So there was long waits, and insurance companies pay for those per day rentals. Not to mention the cost to fix these were so much higher because of the shortage of certified technicians. So that's changed now over the last few years. Another thing is these newer cars have so many sensors that a lot of the high cost of insurance is because of small fender benders. Well, these cars pretty much can protect you from that with the driver assistance and all the sensors it has to be able to try to avoid those collisions. So that has helped to bring the insurance rates down on these as well. Now, another issue I had with EVs in the past was there wasn't a large 3-row SUV that can fit a family that I have of 6 people. I mean, yeah, Tesla had one, but it was astronomically priced. And it looked more like a sedan with just shoved a 3rd row in there for a couple small kids. Well, this had 3 rows, 2 captain's chairs in the middle seats, and then in the back, they're actually a really nice sized bench seat that even I can fit in, or even a 6-foot adult can fit in. So they're bigger now. So this car has really got me more excited that, okay, maybe an EV was in my future. And as you can see, I just purchased it. And the range on these things was an issue in the past that I just couldn't deal with. So I often do traveling all the way to California from Texas. I haul all my kids up there, and that's about a 1,200 mile stretch I have to drive. And to sit there and charge for hours at each stop was just not practical. I just wasn't gonna do it. Well, now they have these 350 kilowatt fast DC chargers all the way up to 10 freeway, all the way up to California, where I can charge this thing now from 10% to 80% on the battery in only 24 minutes. So that's a game changer. Now I can actually travel up to California with these, while years ago, that just wasn't practical. So as you can see, the technology is finally catching up to make this practical for everyday use. So now let's get into the practical numbers that actually made this make financial sense to me. So I have a 2018 Kia Sorento. It had 155,000 miles on it, so it's starting to approach a higher mileage vehicle, and we like to get rid of our vehicles before they start to have those major problems around that 200,000 mark. And what we were doing, we were spending about $350 in gas per month on that Kia Sorento because we live kind of rural, as you can see behind me. So we have really an hour each direction anywhere to go. So my wife and I share that vehicle because we have an F-350 Ford truck, a diesel, that we try to not drive as much because that thing is a gas guzzler, especially now with diesel over $5 a gallon. So we share our Kia Sorento. So we've been driving that thing like crazy at $350 a month in gas. And as I mentioned, the cost of this EV9 was $31,000, and we ended up financing a little over $27,000 of it. And we financed this thing for 84 months because it only had 8,000 miles on it, so it was nearly brand new. And we like to pay off our vehicles ahead of time anyway, but we like to extend the term where it gives us more payment flexibility in case we didn't want to make a higher payment. And our rate on that was 7.6% for those 84 months, so we're paying $432 a month on this. Now, as I mentioned earlier, it was $19 a month extra to swap out our Kia Sorento for this, so add that $19 a month to our monthly payment of $432. So my monthly payment overall on this is about $451 a month. Now remember, I can charge this for free from these solar panels you see behind me. So I'm going to save that $350 a month, and that's at today's gas prices, which right now here in Texas we're looking at about $3.89 for unleaded, and who knows where that's going. I mean, with this war in Iran, you never know. It could skyrocket from here, or it could come back down to around $2.89, which is where it was a few months ago. But who knows? But now I don't have to care about that anymore. So overall, to buy this vehicle, it costs about $4,000 to $5,000 down, and then I'm going to pay about $101 a month more in my budget than what I was paying with my Kia Sorento. So that started to make a lot of sense. Now, if gas prices go up from here, then this is probably going to even save me money in my overall monthly budget. So it just made complete financial sense to me. So I was pretty much baptized by fire with this thing, because everybody says, you know, your first EV, it's kind of weird charging. Well, I had to pick this car up out in Scottsdale, Arizona. So my first time driving an EV was driving it from Scottsdale, Arizona, all the way back to Central Texas. So that was about a 900 mile drive. So I had to hit charging stations along the way. And in fact, I had to learn how to charge it from scratch. I knew nothing about charging these vehicles, so I was able to do it. It was very easy. I used the Electrify America fast DC chargers along the way. There was one every 150 miles roughly up the 10 freeway, and it was very easy. In regards to the technology in this thing, I mean, I went and got in and drove my Kia Sorento today, my 2018, because we're about to get rid of it, but it felt like I was driving a dinosaur. I mean, that's how much the technology in these things are just amazing. How well they ride. I mean, the fast acceleration the EVs have, the comfort, the sensors. I mean, when I was driving back from Arizona, I could put it on the driver assist mode and I could literally let it drive for me. Cruise control, it would literally slow down before it hit a car, and I could put the signal on, it would change lanes for me and drive. I just had to be ready to grab the wheel. So I'm very happy with the purchase. And I was definitely one that was always skeptical of EVs ever since they came out. Now I am a complete believer in this thing. So don't let politics stop you from buying one of these things if it does make sense for your situation, especially if you have a whole home solar system. And if you're interested in getting a whole home solar system to see what I use and how I power my whole home completely independent from the electric grid, download my ebook that I wrote that I went into all the details on everything that I learned over the last 5 years doing this. You can download that book, solar-ebook.com, and you'll get lots of good information on everything I learned the hard way on how to do this myself. Well, that's it for now, everyone. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you find this kind of content useful, and I will see you all in the next video.